and I'll free willingly tell anybody, an examinee sitting in my chair or anybody else, nothing is 100%.
One of the interesting things about polygraph is that if you have the general person out there, including you, if polygraph admissible in the court, most people would say no, it's not, because it's not reliable. People have heard that forever, and that, based on what Ryan was talking about, that comes from a 1921 case, which was the first attempt to get polygraph admitted into federal court, was in 1921. And the Court of Appeals determined, and 2 years later, in 1923, they wrote a famous treatise or response to that, saying at that time, in 1923, polygraph was not reliable, and therefore it was not generally accepted in the scientific community, and thus should not be admitted into court. That precedent case in 1923 carried for 70 years in our court system, and that's where that rumor that polygraph's not reliable came from. And it's sometimes really hard to overcome rumors, but that's really all it was a rumor, and it emanated from that 1921 case.
And I'll free willingly tell anybody, an examinee sitting in my chair or anybody else, nothing is 100%, not even surgery. But no, there's nothing that's perfect. There's no silver bullet, but it's a damn good tool to be utilized in any toolbox.
But what the scientific community has now concluded, and it's the reason that the courts are letting them in everywhere, what the scientific community has concluded is it meets the standards of a scientific test, which are to exceed 90% accuracy, which is different from reliability, by the way. But the testing itself, when done properly, when everything is followed according to the standards that are out there for professionals to follow, the accuracy is going to be over 90%.
But again, what you have to understand is it's not the instrument itself. That's not what's making the determination on truth reception. So you still have human error and subjectivity. Yeah. The instrument itself is simply recording physiological output. Right. It's up to the examiner to have the knowledge and the depth of understanding to know what they're looking at.